Pamela Walker-Smith. Not yet?
Okay.
Now?
Good now.
I promise, I'm Pamela Walker-Smith.
And let me give you you have to use the mic, so you'll have to hold that in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I know this is drag for her.
Can you tell me what the volume regulators look like if I don't use the mic? Because I'm right here at the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, and the mic. This is a kind of a different format. We generally do our workshops in room 1103, but our mayor's office has the room this afternoon, so we had to reschedule it down here in room 103, which is where we have our bid openings. Our bid openings are also done here, and so this is kind of not my format. I sit and give you a live presentation of what the workshop PowerPoint is actually about and show you how to submit a bid. So this is a little quirky, so bear with me if I skip around and move around, because you know, we have a lapel mic and hands are free, and so my hands aren't free, and I talk with my hands. Okay, so today is our last workshop of the year. So thank you so very much for coming out to our workshop on eProcurement. We hold these workshops once a month, every Thursday. So our next one will be hopefully sometime January 2020. So points of interest from this PowerPoint, what we do, we as the Department of Procurement Services, we review bidders and proposers' compliance plans. We monitor our MBE, WBE commitments. We monitor our equal employment opportunity, minority and female commitments. We monitor our CRO and local residency requirements at contract closeout. And how do we do it? We do it by certification and compliance, our C2 system, our certified payroll processing system, which is the LCP tracker. Audits are conducted, as well as the department, our certification and compliance officers, they do site visits to our, based on our construction contracts. So we do, we're very contract inclusive here. For all of you businesses or construction companies who are doing business with the city or want to do business with the city, note that if you're not certified, if you're not yet certified as an MBWBE, you can do so, or even as a DBE. Know that we do site visits, audits are conducted. We do keep track of our subcontractors through C2. When the prime has the contract and they have hired subs, we keep a system for that, and that is C2. So it's very intuitive. I do know that subs, I really don't want to speak to it because it's not my area, but I do believe that subs can see the C2 system, which is an account of payments to the sub from the prime. For this agenda for our workshop, there'll be an overview of what is eProcurement, how to access the iSupplier portal and the eProcurement website, how to register. I will not speak to the delegate agencies overview. That's a different platform than our contractual vendors, being that when the delegate has a kind of different process. Our payments are, our contracts are contractual based, but you have to bid. The delegates process back in the day is grant-based, grant-funded. So they didn't have to go through the contract bidding source that they have to now. When eProcurement was ratified by former Mayor Rahm Emanuel, he wanted our using departments to follow the procurement process, and being that it's all about bidding to that manner. It's not grant-based. It can be grant-based funded, but you can't just sit around the round table and pick somebody. You have to go out for bid. So the delegate agencies had to reformat their process. And in the first year, it was very trying for us all, because procurement had to learn the delegates process and teach them our process so that they can use the eProcurement system, the iSupplier portal. And so now we're 2 years in. the kinks have been worked out, but because the delegates have a different RFQ process, I would advise you that if you are a delegate vendor sitting here, that you would go to a delegate workshop. They have workshops too, and it may be part of this PowerPoint where they list their workshops and then they explain their whole process when they have an RFQ. We'll speak to bids and solicitations and how to respond, and then any questions that you may have. If you have a question during this presentation, just ask. I can't because I'm getting a glare. Let's see. So, as I said, eProcurement is such an advantageous system. I love it to pieces. It's let me see. I was out of the office due to surgery in 2015. I came back at the end of 2015. They were our departments and consultants. We were in the early stages of eProcurement implementation, from development to its implementation to testing. So when I came back to work and we were in testing, that was in 2015. I've been on skates since 2015 with eProcurement iSupplier portal. So we've grown to a great deal, and its purpose is the city's procurement and financial system that applies to digital technology to the acquisitions of goods and services. So that's our F&PS system. The portals for the vendors, iSupplier will be and is a full service resource for vendors, for those interested in doing business with the city. So now to date, we have currently our contract types, commodities and construction, they're fully eProcurements. And I don't know what we're going to see on the PowerPoint, but if you go to our website where it's a list of our current bid openings, which are, that listing lists our paper bids, you'll notice that the commodities column is blank. The construction column may only have aviation in there because now they're fully. With all small orders, some small orders, some aviation. Right now we're working on RFQs, which are some professional services, but yet to go into the eProcurement program are work services and vehicles and heavy equipment, which we will be soliciting them in 2020. So, advantages to the iSupplier portal. There are many. For one, Rom's initiative was for, not for us to stop killing trees using paper, right? A contract back in the day could be as thick as put all these papers together that you see outside, and then we make one contract and some more. Use your papers too. The contract's thick, heavy, in a red flex binder. Now those types of contracts are now all electronic. The whole process now is electronic, from the IOC creation all the way up to the solicitation preparation, all the way up to award. It's emails back and forth for online discussions, which we will discuss. The other advantage is that now, so I've been managing the City of Chicago's vendor database since maybe 1990, maybe that long. And now I manage and maintain the iSupplier vendor database. It's not that the databases are different. There's one in the same database, with the exception that iSupplier portal vendor is now registered to do e-solicitations. We'll talk about that as well. But the advantage to you guys, if you're an iSupplier portal vendor, you are able to manage and maintain your supplier record, right? So by me managing and maintaining the City of Chicago's vendor database, we get emails, we get forms to add an address, add a contact, change the business name, add a site, remove a site. Those are our F5A forms, B and C. Now you guys can do that, right? So we had managed a small staff, and that's what we did. We manage and maintain the vendor database. Well, now I manage and maintain the iSupplier portal, and the unit we still receive paper requests F5As and Bs for my using department for the vendors who are not iSupplier portal vendors, and that they may have to add a new vendor, update an address, add a contact name. Now you guys have the advantage to do that, as well as look at your payments, receipts, orders, prior older contracts, all the way up to current. So if you want to look at payments made from the city, or orders received by an department, or receipts sent to a department, you as the vendor can now look at all of that in your vendor database. That's an advantage to you, and I'm glad about it. Not glad about it because it relieves me of doing the work, but glad about it because you can see real time. Okay. As well, you can view and respond to bids and solicitations online, of course. So to assist the vendors with transition to online bidding, the city has developed the eProcurement microsite, and that includes information about the entire eProcurement process, as well as it works, there's a link for delegates. We have online training material there. Hold on, let me see where this goes. Okay, so at the microsite. Flip, I don't know, I really don't know what's in your workshop, but if I'm going through this, I don't see that page. It may be there, it may come up. The microsite is the holy grail to eProcurement. It's your bestest friend. I'm going to tell you that when you call me and you ask me a question about how, or I get an email on how do I. If I can't answer your question because I'm in the middle of trying to troubleshoot why something else is not happening, I'll give you the link to the microsite and tell you exactly where to go, right, to help you get through your issue. Have a seat. And help you get through your issue. So it's chock full of information. Let's see what we have here, because so that you're comfortable in using our website, the iSupplier portal, and the microsite. Just know that the city, we are security tight. Trust me. Soon, and very soon, we'll be going to CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA means that you open up a page and you got to pick a picture, or you got to put in some alphabets, right? Like you do on your personal computer. So we are we're very, very secure. Almost like banks, you will put in your www and it will turn to HTTPS, right? So we already know that that's a secure website. So that's just to let you know, don't be afraid to go to the portal. Don't be afraid to use the system. It works for you, and it is monitored very well. So, first-time vendor registration. So, existing vendors. What that means is, when I said I manage and maintain the City of Chicago's vendor database, imagine how large that is. You're a current vendor with the City of Chicago. You've heard about eProcurement. You've heard about the e-solicitations. You've heard about iSupplier. You're interested in bidding on an e-solicitation. How do I do that? Because you are already a vendor with the City of Chicago. You request an invitation to bid. You request an invitation to register in the iSupplier portal. Existing vendors will request an iSupplier invitation. If you've never done business with the city, you do not have a vendor number with the City of Chicago, you've never done business with the City of Chicago, then you must request an invitation to register. Two things. One, for iSupplier, when you register, you must include your FEIN certificate, your W-9 letter of certification. If you don't, I reject it, because I need for everything to match. Company name, FEIN number. The addresses sometimes don't match on the FEIN to the location of the company, but the W-9 has to match. The FEIN 9-digit number has to match the name to the name of the company. Okay. So again, existing vendors they will go to the eProc support mailbox. I'm not sure if it's on this link in this website. I'm hoping that it will be. The email address to eProc support to request a iSupplier invitation, although it is on procurement's website, which is chock full of information. The Department of Procurement Services website has all sorts of information there, to include the bid opening listing that I heard being discussed, to include DPS alerts, registration, to include eProcurement. Yes.
I tried to register about over a year ago. Something went wrong. And I contact y'all because every time I try to register, they said that information, that email is already taken. And I went in circle and circle. I contact y'all, and I spent like a half an hour, I think, with one of your colleagues.
Has anybody gotten back to you yet?
Yeah, they called me, and then she tried to solve the problem, but she could not. She said something is weird here.
Has it been resolved yet?
No, it has never been resolved. It's been a year.
Send an email to eprocsupport@citychicago.org. I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
Please do that. What's your company name?
Boatran Technology.
Oh, you're out here on this list. Okay, I'll look you up. All right. See, it's just that simple. That's why I like for vendors who are already registered. So now I know that company is already a vendor with the city of Chicago. I've been here 30 plus years. I know that name. I don't know this person. I'm Pamela Walker Smith. So, I know the company exists. I know that. So I'll look that up. I don't know about the instance. I can't speak to that, but I can fix whatever is the company's problem. Okay. So that's one thing. So he's an existing vendor requesting an iSupplier invitation. And so with that, we look for the company name in our vendor database. We use that email address from the person who's requesting the invitation, and we have a little blurb typed up, welcome them into the portal and to follow whatever directions that the email that you're going to receive from workflow mailer is directing you to do. And then from the invitations, you'll get a pending. It's pending because now I got to review whatever came back over, and if it all matches, then I will approve you. For new vendors, it's different. New vendors, if you're not a vendor with the city of Chicago already, you don't have a vendor number, you got a lot of questions to answer on the registration. It's going to ask you questions. You'll get to tax country. It's not a required field. People get stuck there. I can't show it to you because we're not live. People get stuck at tax country. It's not required, but all fields that have an asterisk by it, it's required, fill it in. On a new vendor registration, you must upload your W-9. If you don't, you'll get a message back from me saying, supplier to provide more details. I have asked you to upload a .pdf of your company's W-9, W-9 FEIN/tax ID. I get phone calls from vendors and they're asking me, are you speaking of a tax ID? I don't know, I'm speaking of the 9-digit number that's on the W-9. So now our message is W-9/FEIN/tax ID. Okay, so I just need one 9-digit number.
Like to register, I went to the webpage and it said, please send an email with this information. It said, please send an email to so-and-so department, and then they're going to send you an invitation.
Well, that wasn't me. What's the name of your company? Right. You guys are interested in the RFQ that's coming up real soon or something?
No, just that I wanted to become registered. When I went to the webpage, it said, so you need an invitation to be part of this. You send an email.
So, okay, well, so somebody in your company is interested in the RFQ. And you want to respond to a solicitation that's out right now. You want to respond to it. But you can't because they're saying that you have to be iSupplier portal vendor. Right, you have to be an eProcurement. So if you send an email to eProc support, it probably hasn't been answered yet, but I do remember Alvarez, I do remember it. So, right, I do remember it. If you haven't, but I don't know if you did you run into a problem trying to register?
No, I sent it, but I haven't gotten anything back.
Okay, that will happen today. All right, I seen you out there. Okay, so this right here is the this is the microsite. That orange ribbon up there, that's your best friend. Get to know it, especially the online training materials and the current bids and solicitation opportunities, right? So when you go to microsite, the address is www.cityofchicago.org/eProcurement will bring you there. When you get there, it changes to cityofchicago.gov, okay, because that's eProcurement. Yes. All right. The orange ribbon part, that's your best friend. My emails always say, please be aware of the orange ribbon, okay, and the links that I suggest that you click on. Here, I'm trying to move this like a mouse because I see an arrow. Here, this is the home page of the portal, right? Right there on its front facing, it's speaking to procurements workshops. And it says that this workshop was supposed to be on November 15th, but for whatever reason it's moved up, and it is our last one of the year, right? Our workshops are always held from 2 to 3 in room 1103. Below that is actually speaking to the delegate agency. Let's see if they got anything they don't. It's speaking to the delegate agency's workshops. When you go out to the microsite, you'll see their list of workshops and I don't know when they're in. But if you're a delegate agency vendor, being that you've been a delegate agency vendor with the City of Chicago for quite some time, maybe you haven't done business with the city in quite some time, but you're a delegate agency vendor, I would advise you to, strongly suggest that you go to a delegate agency training. So now we're here at vendor registration. Note, CTA, CPS, CHA, Chicago Park District, MAC Pier, Public Building Commissions, those are our sister agencies. We are not tied to them. They are not tied to us. If you have a certification with any one of our sister agencies, those listed on your PowerPoint, it doesn't roll over to the city. The only thing that rolls over to the city is the county, and if you are MBE, WBE certified already with the city, you're also certified with the county, and vice versa. If you're registered with the county as an MBE, WBE, you're registered with the city. That's it. That's where it stops. I get phone calls from vendors with CPS vendor numbers, CTA vendor numbers, a park district, any kind of number, and they want to know if that's how do they change their address, or can they bid on an e-solicitation? No, I don't know you. We don't know you. You have to have a City of Chicago vendor number, okay? So it doesn't cross over. So this page speaks to, orange ribbon, home, that's the page that you're looking at right now. The next link, let me just see what happens with this. The next link is on login and registration. Request iSupplier invitation. Who requests the iSupplier invitation? Somebody. If you already have a vendor number with the City of Chicago, you can request an iSupplier invitation. I'm going to look you up in our vendor database, and I'm going to send you, the requester, an invitation. You're going to receive an email from Workflow Mailer stating, "Hi, Pam reached out to you, and now you need to click this button and go here and do this." And then when you do that, you'll come back to me, and then you'll be what will be termed pending, and then I'll look over your registration and I'll approve you. That's simple if you're already a vendor with the City of Chicago.
She did an iSupplier invitation.
Are you already a vendor with the City of Chicago? So that doesn't apply to you. No, ma'am. So if you're not a vendor already with the City of Chicago, then you must do a new vendor registration. So the second orange ribbon, the second orange highlight link, new vendor registration, is for vendors who are not doing business with the city. I have spoke to that. Again, what I've noticed is that vendors get stuck at tax county. You might say tax country. They get stuck right there. Skip it. It's not a requirement. It's not a required field. But all fields that are required, you must put something in it. Vendors get stuck at, am I tax reportable? You're tax reportable to us. Ma'am, if I try to bend down there, I'm going to need all these men to pick me up. Okay.
Me too.
But you did that real well. You're welcome. So tax country is one, and the other one is tax reportable. Tax reportable means that if you get a contract with the City of Chicago, are we to mark you tax reportable, which means that, we will inform the government something, blah, blah, blah. That's not my area, that's finance, but I can tell you that tax reportable means, generally to me, how I've been trained all my years, is individual business names. Individual. Pam Walker Smith, Inc. Pam Walker Smith. I'm tax reportable. I'd be tax reportable. Pam Walker Smith. Sole proprietors, right? LLCs, Inc., Corps. You're not tax reportable to the city. Finance will work that out when it comes time to pay you, right? Just skip that part. Skip it. Because you get stuck there, and I'm going to get the phone call, and I'm going to tell you the same thing. Skip it, because it's for individuals. If the city wants to tax you, that's going to come from finance. Okay? At check time. That's going to come from finance. Okay. Whoops, excuse me. So, 4 options are on this page. We discussed login and registration. eProcurement bids, solicitations, okay, and pre-bids. Okay. So, interesting page right here. During the live presentation, I go through the whole orange ribbon. So, okay, that orange part there at eProcurement bids and solicitation opportunities, that is exactly what it is. It's just like the bid opening listing that's out there, but this is our apps. We call it abstracts, and it's all of our eProcurement solicitations. So if you want to see an e-bid, you go there. You go and bookmark it. Once you got that abstract, bookmark that abstract. It refreshes. It refreshes. Or you can refresh that when you open it up tomorrow. Refresh it. It'll refresh to whatever may be current, right? The only way, you do not have to be, okay, I don't want to jump around. 1, you do not have to be an iSupplier vendor in order to look at an abstract. You do not have to be an iSupplier vendor in order to download that PDF of the solicitation. You do not. You do have to be an iSupplier vendor to submit the solicitation, okay? You don't have to be registered to look at it, a PDF. You don't have to be registered to go onto the portal page. You don't have to be registered, right? Only for bid solicitations do you have to be registered. The blue writing in the red circle are our pre-bids and our pre-submittals. So for every e-procurement, we have a pre-bid. Not we like me. We like the specialist who prepares the solicitation or the contract or the RFQ, the RFP for the using department. They have a pre-bid or a pre-submittal. And what that is so very advantageous for the vendors to come to a pre-bid on especially a construction or architectural engineering, IT, whatever it is, because all contracts are important. But those heavyweights like that, you should come to, we strongly suggest that you attend the pre-bid or the pre-submittal conference, because the speaker will be the using department, the engineer, the project manager, and the procurement specialist, who is going to go over how to submit the solicitation. It could be 1,000 lines. They'll show you how to do a quote by spreadsheet, which is such an advantage today. Yes, sir.
So these e-solicitations that we get, right?
Mhm.
I'm a current iSupplier for
What's your vendor name?
electronic knowledge management.
EKI, hi. You my friend. Okay.
So, just recently, apparently.
You registered,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, this workflow mailer email
Mm-hmm.
is that how the solicitations get sent, right? Through this?
No. Solicitation?
Yeah, so these
No.
these
We don't,
these
no.
They don't come.
No, you go look.
I go look.
You go look.
So there's not
Yeah,
an
we
alert
don't
that
warn
gets
you.
sent?
No.
Interesting.
No. Okay, so that, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, so that was gonna be my question, is
No.
how do I get an alert sent to an email that's, so when I first started, I was part of the pilot program.
Okay.
Back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we joined was because I'm in the finance department, right?
Mhm.
And that's where all the payments, right? vendor
That's correct.
payments and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Started, right? So now, they're using the portal, right, for solicitations, right? That's like a second phase or whatever.
That's correct.
Right?
Mhm.
So, my COO, right, comes to me and says, hey, there's a solicitation, apparently there's e-procurement now in this
Mhm.
portal. Why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? All I do is payments, right? This is all I know that this portal is for. I wasn't knowing about solicitations. So anyway, long story short, how do I get somebody else to get, access to somebody else to do these solicitations while I just still handle the finance? You follow me?
We're gonna have to offline this.
Are you understanding my
Yeah.
question, right?
Because finance has its very own,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
tab in
Yeah.
here.
Right, so,
Yeah.
but if I give someone access to that, they have access to everything, right?
No,
It's
just
not.
only them.
Okay,
A vendor record is only exposed to the vendor. E-solicitation that you bid on is only exposed to you, the company that's submitting the solicitation. You can't see everybody's bid.
no, so let's say.
No, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'm just letting you know.
If we give them access to the
If I give
finance
them
tab, they're gonna
access-
see the e-solicitations as well.
No,
So I'm
no.
asking, can I give someone access to this portal?
Yes.
In my company,
Mhm.
but they can't see the finance side of it?
They can see, no.
Like, I don't want them
When,
to see the
no,
finance side.
no. As a vendor,
They're multi-level.
Correct.
Users, yeah.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Can be used.
so there is no, I don't see the tab for it, okay, but we're gonna make it up. You've logged in.
Correct. Right, there's a home page that has,
With my former employer, she had the same question, and no, she couldn't. I could see all the finance information at that time. But that was
For
a
your,
couple years ago.
for your vendor registry.
Right.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay,
He's trying to
doesn't,
hide it from the employee.
it doesn't, it's not here.
or give
When you-
access to the employee, the people who handle bids and solicitations, because I don't handle that. You know what I'm saying? I don't respond
No.
That's not my work.
You make payments.
Huh? No, not in my company.
Yes.
Not in, so I'm the C, right, I'm the,
Oh, no, 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 no.
because it looks like.
The finance tab is for the vendor. So you have a vendor, you're registered. You're an iSupplier vendor.
Correct.
That finance tab is for you, vendor, to reach finance about any payments or look at anything
Right. I can see
finance
all my
related.
history on there,
Just your history.
Your payments and stuff.
Just yours.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
it's fine.
okay.
However,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
there's a solicitation that comes up, right?
Okay, so the
It's in
solicitation.
that portal as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same portal.
It's a
right?
solicitation.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can somebody else,
It's just a solicitation though.
yeah, so what if I wanna respond to it?
Okay, you respond to
No,
it.
no, not me though.
No, I'm just saying.
Me.
Yeah.
Not her,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
She works in my company.
Yes.
He don't want me to see
But I,
finance,
right, but
He's
she,
not.
but I just wanna see he just wants me to see the solicitation, but he doesn't want me to see.
That's all you're gonna see. You're not. They're
how
not.
do I do that? How do I give access to, how does
To
she
his
get access?
vendor situation.
How do I give access for her to go inside there, right?
She
and
wants
just
to
see
log
bids?
into the,
Yeah, and see
she,
bids and solicitations.
you give them the website to the eProcurement, the
Uh-huh.
microsite, and you tell them to go to,
Give him his username and password.
no, they have to be registered. No,
So they have to,
not registered, no, no.
That's what he's trying to say. I work for his company. He just wants me to do the e-solicitations. But he doesn't want me to have access to his finance tab.
Only you have access to that vendor record unless you give him your login.
right, that's my point.
No, no, no,
There's not
no.
multi-level restrictions.
No, no. Okay, okay. You got a contract with the city. You got PO number. Now the PO number, that contract number, once the solicitation is awarded, it turns into a contract, right? Okay, once the solicitation is awarded, it now turns into a contract. We have awarded it to a vendor now, right? And so now that PO number is out there. Okay, Jason. Okay. So that PO number is out there. You got to log in. You have a login to iSupplier. You have a login to iSupplier. No, I'm just saying. But you have a login, though. I'm just saying. You have a login. You have a log. Yeah, because you can.
So she has
She has a different login. But what's not different is that PO number.
Right.
The PO number not different. So if I plug in the PO number that's awarded to the company, right? Because you have a staff of employees who's making payments to vendors, right? They have to be able to look up the PO number, but they're only going to see it for one PO.
Yeah. So
Payments.
I guess maybe I'm saying we're saying two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But you can't, the system is not going to allow you to look at financial records for the Department of Finance. It's going to allow you to look at the financial record for the awarded PO when controllers cuts that check.
Right, and I can see that.
Okay.
I'll put in a PO number, I see that, right?
Yes.
But my thing is, I don't do solicitations, I don't do RFPs.
No,
Me personally, I don't do that.
that is correct.
Somebody else in my company does that,
That is correct.
right?
Yes.
How can he get access to that without?
How can he look at the solicitation?
Yeah,
Without seeing the financing.
yeah, how can he?
What is he looking for in the solicitation?
Anything, so let's say because you're saying.
Does he just want to look at the solicitation?
And
Or does he
respond
want
to
to look
maybe-
at
he wants
and
to
see how
respond.
many vendors have already responded?
No, he wants to look at the solicitation and see if, it matches what we do and then
Right.
respond to it if he needs to.
But where's your question at? Because that's baby juice. You log in
Uh-huh.
with your login ID, you who work for the company too, and you want to submit a solicitation,
Yes.
right?
But
You
I
can
need-
submit a solicitation,
But
you
when I
can.
log in, I see the solicitation, I see his financing.
Right.
From the other POs, correct? No?
But it's just from the PO, it's only from the PO payments from contracts that have already been awarded. It's payments and receipts and invoices.
Which he does not want me to have access to.
Oh, but you can see that.
That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
so
Is
that's
there
what
a
I'm
way
saying.
to keep
You can
me
see
from
it.
seeing
So
it?
there is no multi-level.
If she put in the PO number,
Right,
she may be able to see that.
Right.
But that's testing now. Send me an email.
Okay.
I work for a different company.
No, I know. No, we
Okay.
need to, let's
Yeah,
test
yeah,
that.
okay.
Let's test that theory and see where it's proven and
That
where
would
it's
be
not.
interesting,
Okay.
Yeah. Because
I
I
mean,
would
it's-
say, okay, not only that, but that's also foiable, right? So if I wanted to know what were the payments made, I can't see your POs. You know, and not only that, payments is on the web.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all transparent.
So all I'm
It's-
trying to say.
it's all
so
transparent.
all I'm trying to say is, I wanna give access to other people, right? So they don't use they continue to use my login.
But they
Can I-
shouldn't.
can
They,
I give
no.
access to other people?
No, you shouldn't. Everybody can have access.
To his iSupplier?
To my account?
If you want them to.
So how do I do that?
No,
Do I give
not
access
to your account, but they own it. They can do it themselves. Okay, we, see now y'all making me go past. No. You're the vendor.
Yep,
You have 4 employees.
correct.
You want your employees to be able to bid on solicitations. You don't want to do it. You want them to do it. 1. You got 4 employees. They each have a different username and a different login ID.
How? How do they do
They
it?
have to
How-
register.
they have-
At registration, yes.
Each of them have to register separately.
No, you
Yes.
get an opportunity to select.
You can even add them.
Well, that's my
Yeah.
question. How
Yeah,
do I-
you can
how do
add
I
them.
do that?
It's in the admin portal
Okay,
of the vendor record.
okay. The admin portal.
You can add contacts to the portal.
Okay.
That's why we like it. I don't have to add you.
Okay,
I don't have to have a staff person to add you.
so there's an.
You can do it. That's the advantage to the iSupplier portal is that you can add more contacts to have access to the portal.
You will be able to check off how much clearance level they.
Right, they might can't,
So that's
they
all-
may,
That's what I'm asking.
so, but that's what it is, okay? No. So purchasing, right? Or pay. You can select purchasing or pay. Purchasing means you can bid.
Okay,
Pay means you can submit an invoice.
That's that tab you can't see.
And that's one thing that the companies do and our delegate agency vendors. They give them access, but it's minimal. Right. It's one or the other. Are you a delegate vendor?
I used to work for a previous vendor years ago, which is what attracted me and created my position. But I started out doing her RFPs and bids with.
Okay,
And then she was like.
as a
"Oh,
consultant,
you
yeah.
should be Purchasing because now I'm helping our accountant do the checks and cut the checks.
Yes.
So we went
Yeah.
in and she redelegated, not just for me to do bidding, but now I can see all the finances. So up under your administration section.
Yes, how you said it.
If you have a team of accountants that you want to see that
Yes.
information, you can delegate all of them. But they
Yes.
don't have to have privy to
To the finance part, yes.
But they have to.
You don't, yes, because you got 10 employees. You got 5 that can submit solicitations. You got 5 that can submit, do invoicing, right? They would need a particular box selected, right? Yes. Now, yes. So now this is the problem that I run into. The person who's selected to only look at solicitations now has to process a payment. So now their payment won't go through. Nobody's asking me or informing me of how they were set up. They're saying, Pam, so-and-so is trying to process a payment, but payment's not selected.
At the clearance.
And that's how I.
So then I have to go in. I don't know that you're not supposed to have that now because our technology consultants have called me and said, or sent me an email, sent me a screenshot and said, this person can't make a payment. Now, I don't know they're not supposed to see, but and it's hypothetical. Now, it's hypothetical, but I'm just saying. I mean, the situation is real, but what's hypothetical is I don't know if they're not supposed to see that. They didn't say, they did not inform me and deselect payment and add purchasing. Deselect purchasing and add payment. I'm not informed. I'm just doing what you asked me to do so we can get the payment process.
So there has to
Yes.
be an internal control.
It is an
on the
internal
outside.
control. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
So admin has to see,
So that is why with most of our delegate departments, from what I've noticed, like, they must have had 50 people in there. I might have been Catholic Charities, I'm not real sure. But all I seen was a whole bunch of check marks. Why would a company want so many people to have access to the portal like this? Not for me to question, you know, we've given you the accessibility to do so. But now, when I go in, I can see that only one thing is selected. It's either payment or it's purchasing. Not never both. And that's why. So is there a fail-safe? Yes. Didn't I tell you we were secure? Okay. Yes, that's a fail-safe. That is a fail-safe. That's a good question, too. Sorry it took me so long to understand, to get it. So you, yeah, that's what it is. Thank you, baby girl. Yes.
For contracts under 25,000, do those go through?
Small orders, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And they don't go anywhere else, just under this program, right?
Well, right now, our small orders program are e-solicitations now, yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, they may have a paper bid. Yes, I can't say that they
Oh, I
don't.
see.
They may,
Definitely.
yeah. No, ma'am, not definitely.
Oh,
No. It depends on, the e-procurement solicitation process depends on when they get the requisition from the using department and how they're going to create it. It can
Okay.
either be created as an e-solicitation because I would say by 2021, it'll be all electronic, right?
wow.
We will no longer accept paper solicitations. Right now, we do accept paper solicitations with the e-solicitation, we do, because some vendors may have problems with trying to submit their e-solicitation, so they get frustrated, give up, and send in paper. We have to accept it. But we strongly encourage any solicitation that is an e-solicitation to complete it, to submittal. Yeah, but as far as small orders, they are processed as an e-solicitation. And it's only, if it's not, that's something that occurred between the using department and our department. That is a paper solicitation, okay? Okay, y'all, now that y'all done took me to school, let's go. Oh, let's continue. Okay, we talked about the pre-submittals. Please come to a pre-submittal, right?
Yes.
Okay. This page that you're looking right now, again, this is our paper bid solicitation. The pre-submittals you can find on our website. I told you that eProcurement's website is just so, boy, you can spend a day out there on our website. It's just so full of information. But where it says pre-bids and pre-submittal conference attendees, they must be posted. So when it's a pre-bid, within 24 to 48 hours, we do upload the sign-in sheet that you guys sign in on. We upload that. It's transparent. Procurement is very transparent. So if you came here and you did it, it's on the web. Okay, it's out there. So, vendors, contracts, and payment search. This is for when you are looking for a contract on the web. And you want to, I hope that's what this is. And you want to, okay, well, you can do several things here. Okay, this page is speaking to bid opportunities. But again, City of Chicago, vendor contract and payment search. If you wanted to just look at contracts that's been awarded, you would go to the link that says contracts. If you just want to search a certain vendor, FH Passion, Votran, you want to just search a vendor, you can go to vendors. It'll list all the contracts that they have with the City of Chicago, okay? This is speaking to opportunities. This is speaking to the takeout list. So, wow, can't show it to you. E-solicitation and or paper bid. Takeout list. You want to know what's my comp? What's my competition? Who's my competition? Who else is interested in this RFQ? Who else is interested in this solicitation? Put in the vendor name and or the specification number. I would put in the spec number, then you get a full list. Right? You put in the spec number for the opportunity takeout list. Those are solicitations now, right? They're going out for bid. They haven't been bidded yet. Even if it has been bidded, then you can still look at the takeout list. And the takeout list means, hey, I, Pam Walker-Smith, was interested in this RFQ, so e-solicitation. So I clicked on it. That's all you got to do. Once you click, you on takeout list. That says, I'm interested. I'm just interested, right? If it's a paper bid, you come in, you come to bid and bond room down here to this window, you present your business card, specification number, you'll get the bid spec. They take your business card, they attach it to a form, and then they add it to the takeout list table, and then you'll populate on the web. Okay? We're transparent. You'll see it. So there are the search results for something. I can't read it. So there are the search results for that particular specification, and all those vendors took it out. Doesn't mean they're going to bid on it. It just means that I was interested in it, so I went and looked at it. Right? Doesn't mean that they're going to bid on it. It just means that they wanted to look at the solicitation.
Is there a different place that shows you the bids?
Yeah, the bid itself.
The people who actually bid it on it. Is there another?
You can't see that.
I can't see that.
No,
Okay.
we can see that in the number of responses. Now, what you may see, so you can't see who bidded on it. You won't be able to see that. Even when the bid opens, you won't know that. You won't know who bidded on it until the bid is over and all those names make it to the takeout list, right? Okay. So here, eProcurement bid opportunities. We are still on Procurement's webpage. We are at the list of current bid openings. And there is the eProcurement bid opportunities, which are eProcurements. eProcurement means that it's not a paper bid, it's an e-solicitation. And that's your abstract right there, right? So that's the abstract, that's the listing of current e-solicitations, their bid openings. From the left to the right, we have who is our using department. We have an event. Event is actually contract type. What type of solicitation is this for what service? It's commodities or construction. It'll be or work services or small orders. Next to that is program model. We don't use that. The delegate agencies do. Solicitation number is actually your RFQ number, whatever it generates to be. Your specification number. The solicitation title is always preceded, was led with the specification number and then the title of it. The advertisement date is the same date as the supplier response due date, which is bid opening date. With eProcurement, an Oracle came terminology changes, right? So we had to get used to a whole nother language. When I first came back from sick leave and came back and opened up what's a PO, is now a purchase order payment. But before, it was a construction contract. So when I opened up that page, I just nearly lost my mind because I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen it. And when I saw it, what is this? Oh my God, I done broke some, oh Lord. It was purchase order payment. Now I know what it looked like, right? Now I know. But it was really weird, it was trippy. So I'm like, what is a response start date? What is that? It's the date that the bid is actually opening, right? Bid opening date, that's what that is. All right. So the advertisement date and the supplier response start date is the date that hits the paper, okay? The day it is advertised. And all that means is it's advertising today, and as soon as you see it, you can begin putting in your alphabets. Okay, that's all that means. The supplier response due date is the date that the bid is opening, right? And it's going to open and be read down here. Bid openings are recorded, okay? Right now, you guys are, this is, workshop is recorded and is streamed on YouTube. but they just hear my voice, and they see the PowerPoint presentation. So they went to school with me, too. We all went to school together. Okay. So then your deadline for questions. So when they have that submittal, when they have the pre-bid or the submittal conference, you got certain amount of days to submit any questions that you may have that you were heard in the pre-bid. So always adhere to that date, because after that date, they can't answer it. And the other thing about that is, you got a question, you got a question, you got a question. You guys answer your question. The vendor community who is bidding on this solicitation gets to get an answer too, right? So everybody now has the same answer. Everybody has different questions, but everybody gets the questions and the answer to whomever asked it, okay? Which is a caveat. The other side right there is details. Remember I said you didn't have to be logged in order to look at the PDF? You don't. To get the PDF, so you go to the abstract, and you're interested in the solicitation. You just want to look at the PDF. You're not ready to log in yet because you haven't registered. Then you go to where there's the eyeglasses, and that's the PDF of the solicitation. You can print it out. Look at it. Okay. So once you click on the eyeglasses, you'll get to another page, and that page is going to prompt you to select a PDF. Okay. Here, this page is telling you about the actual solicitation. So it's also informing you that, no pointer on here. It's also informing you that there is a pre-solicitation conference. So there was one for this one in January. It doesn't speak to the question response date on this page, but it just speaks to the advertising date and the bid opening date, and then the date of the, oh yes it does. So there is a deadline for questions there, yes. And whenever the solicitation was, the pre-bid was. And this is once you hit that PDF file, this is the copy of the PDF, and everything that's on that front page is everything we just looked at on the prior page. It's just repetitive. We don't want anybody to be misinformed or get misinformation. It's listed everywhere. So now, you got your login, right? You got your email back from Workflow Mailer. Workflow Mailer has said, here is your user ID. Your user ID is generally your email address that you submitted. You've already changed your temporary password, hopefully. Username, okay, yes. So now you've changed your temporary password, and so now you're ready to log in and submit the solicitation. So you guys have 2 responsibilities in Oracle. 2. Am I going over? Can I go? How much time? How much can I go? So you got 2 responsibilities here in Oracle. Note that Oracle is our system. Oracle is our system of record. That's why we call it FMPS. It's our financial management purchasing system, hosted by Oracle. You guys get 2 responsibilities. We got a ton. You guys get 2. The 2 that you have, the first folder is City of Chicago iSupplier portal with invoice creation. And then the second one is City of Chicago online bidding. The first one with the iSupplier portal with invoice creation, that speaks to finance. It speaks to your admin tab. I think you have an orders tab. There's about 5 tabs there. I don't know if it's going to go through it. And then your second one is the City of Chicago online bidding sourcing. That's how you're going to log in and submit your bid. Let me go back. Work list. That's how you're going to talk to the specialist of the solicitation. It's going to be called online discussion. When you submit your solicitation, you're going to begin having dialogue with the buyer, our procurement specialist, who is putting out the solicitation for the using department. It will be online discussion in your work list. So be familiar with that. So now this page is also called a landing page. Pay attention to terms and graduate. So it's lit. It's got 5 things on there because in our testing instance, we've been doing some things. Yours is going to be blank on the very first one because you haven't done anything yet. It's going to be blank. But as you start submitting solicitations or looking at them, the page is going to start filling up. So your response status. For one, your response number, which you can't really see over here to my left, once you have submitted a solicitation, you will get a response number. From that, you get response status. Here we see draft, resubmission required and active. Draft is just that. I'm in draft. I have not submitted it yet. Still working on it. That's what that is. Resubmission required, very important. That means something has happened. Addendum, clarification. Something has occurred. And it's saying that, hey, I need you to resubmit because you're going to have to acknowledge something. Yes, I saw the clarification. Okay. Yes, I saw the addendum. Yes, I saw the amendment. The supplier site, that gets real quirky. For procurement, for my vendor database, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. That's the site supplier site. Your address is A, 121 North LaSalle, room 806. Not headquarters, not company. I get everything. When the vendors sign up, they don't know what to put there. They don't understand the language. It says address name. It reads address name. They will put their company name there. They will put remit to. They will put orders. You know, I go in and I make it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. If it's several addresses, if it's just one, it's always A. That gets changed. Your solicitation number is right there. That's your RFQ. See, it says type RFP, RFQ number. Then it tells you how many days are left before you can bid. And that clock ticks down. Okay. So now here's your search. Now note. Okay. Now note. Here where it says search open solicitations, it says number. Number is your solicitation number. Okay. It has a drop-down menu, which means, see that arrow, the cursor is on the arrow. You can do title, contact name. I think there's another, might be description, but I don't want to guess to it. But I know title's there. Terminology change. Know what title means? Spec number. Where's the spec number? It is in front of the description of the title. It's in the front. The spec number is in front of the title, description of the solicitation. Okay. So you can search by title, number, which is your spec, or you can search by number, which is the solicitation number. So we're searching by the solicitation number. Question I get all the time. I looked at RFQ 6078 and I clicked on select number to the far left. I clicked on that and I don't see it anywhere. It's not allowing me to submit a bid. You know why? Because you must hit respond first. You can look at the bid all day long, but if you want to submit the bid, when you get to this first page here, you must click respond. Now you're on your way. You may not do no more. You may not do no more. You just click respond. That's all we want. That's all we want. Just you to click respond. Now you're in draft. And you're on the takeout list. Right? Now, it says, I read that you said that if I submit electronic solicitation and it don't happen to make it into the computer system for you all to read this bid, at 11 a.m., it is not the city of Chicago's fault. That's what that says. And then you say, okay, I have read and accepted the terms and conditions. It's just a disclaimer. I do encourage you to read that. We have quirky problems sometimes. The vendor have quirky problems sometimes. Our bids are read at 11 a.m. sharp. Please do not wait to submit your solicitation or begin working on it at 10 o'clock, the day of the bid open. You can open up that bid and work on that bid up until you submit it. One thing for you to know, that if you have a draft that you have submitted to the system, and you go in and you change everything, you're going to get another response number. The prior one is no good, right? That one sits at canceled, the other one sits at draft, okay? The system is going to only take the most current submission, okay? So you have to accept, and once you accept, you are about to submit your bid. You now have grounds to submit your bid. So this is the first page of the solicitation. Note, there are two tabs. There's a header tab and there's a lines tab. The header tab, all the information that the using department and procurement services wants you to know and or acknowledge, okay? You're going to have to put some check marks, X's, somewhere down this page. I'm not sure how far this goes. But this first requirements is just telling you some things. We do have city business preferences, there's alternative fuel. Those are incentives. So the city of Chicago has about, I'm going to guess, 16 or more incentives for vendors now. One of the primary ones are those right there, and the ones for veterans. We want you to take advantage of the incentives. It's an advantage to you, the vendor, if you take an incentive. We have ex-offender incentives for vendors who want to hire ex-offender. There's an incentive there for you to do that. So we strongly encourage our vendors to look through our incentives, see what this percentage give back is to you. If it's interested to you and you qualify, then you get that incentive. And you can get as many as you qualify for. Have to qualify for it, though. You can pick all of them, but the incentive part is scrutinized by the user department and legal, right? And then whatever you qualify for is what you'll receive. Let's see what's next. Okay. So after they explain some things to you in the requirements portion, now you have to answer these questions. Note, two things. One, for vendor codes, for the iSupplier portal, you must have an EDS. No. You must have a W-9, a FEIN number, right, for the iSupplier portal. To submit a solicitation, you must have an EDS number, Economic Disclosure Statement. It is a statement disclosing ownership of your company and its percentages. You must have a number in that big box right there. I don't know what happens if you do not have a number in the box. I think that says none. Okay. It says none. By the time for your bid to be for your bid to be counted as responsive and responsible, you're going to have to submit an EDS with your solicitation eventually, okay, before it's read. Online EDS, please send an email because I'm not sure the email address, but if you send an email to eProc, E-P-R-O-C, support at cityofchicago.org, and we can answer that question for you. I don't want to give you I want to say online EDS at City of Chicago. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Right. You're welcome. So, it asks you a whole bunch of questions, and now it wants to know, do you need to send us something? So attachment, right? Usually, so you have to upload your insurance certificate. You gotta upload your EDS. You gotta upload whatever it is that they're asking you for in the documents, because they are gonna be asking you for some things. You have to upload that. Right there, it's file. So it's telling you now how to add an attachment. And that's all it's telling you? Okay, how to add an attachment. So title. In my training class, when we're doing live, I suggest that you put whatever is the specification number and what you're sending. Specification number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, insurance. Specification number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, EDS certification. Okay. So now this one right here, I see 2 lines. Your responsibility is to the left, read the line, whatever it is. I see something of valves and sewer. It's estimated quantity. That number's already there for you. What is your quote price unit? What are you bidding? How much do you want to bid on that line? That's where you fill out the white space. The estimated quantity is given to you by the using department. They says we want 1,000 of these things and we want 60,000 of those things. How much do you want to pay for, how much do you want to bid at a cost of each? Of course, that unit of measure changes. It could be square feet. It could be bushels and boxes and bags. This is each, okay, in this example. So now it reads that you submitted your quote. And there's your quote number, sits circled up at the top. Over to the far left, it speaks to online discussion. Online discussion is how the specialists are going to let you know if there's an amendment, an addendum, a clarification, and or a problem. Hey, I see your solicitation. I've looked through it. I don't see your EDS. Please submit. That's where the attachment part comes in at. That's you guys are going to have online discussions, and they're going to be in your work list. Okay. It says show message. So you have an online discussion. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. For those of you who are tech savvy or preferences, very important. Can't show it to you. It's important though, guys. Preferences up there next to help. Online discussion right there. 2 things. You out. You're not at work. You're not sitting at your desk. You're not at a computer, but you're getting online discussions. You want to know about it right now. I want to know. In preferences, towards the bottom of the page, I want to say it says email management or email attachment or something. It's in preferences. It's at the bottom of the page. You want to select email at HTML so that when there is an email, there is an online discussion to you, you want it to come in your email. Because you may not want to log in to Oracle today. That may not be your thing to do today. Today I'm not working the solicitation. I'm not in Oracle today. But an amendment came, and I've been informed that I need to acknowledge. It should come. I strongly suggest that you add your email in preferences so that you can be informed via your email box, as well as in Oracle. It's going to come to Oracle anyway, but it's going to go to your email box if you put it in your preferences. I think it's important. So, again, it's saying how to add an attachment. And again, it reads that you should let your subject matter be led by the specification number and then whatever it is, your EDS, your insurance, whatever it is that they're asking for. And if you want to add, you can add another. And if not, you can just hit send to the far right. Now, it says negotiation 6196 has amendments. I don't know if it showed it. I didn't see it in the earlier slides. The original RFQ is 6196. It added an amendment, comma 1. So when you see that there's a comma and a number after the original solicitation number, that means something has occurred. Amendment, addendum, clarification. And you're going to have to acknowledge it. Because if you don't acknowledge it at the time that you see it, they're continual. You'll be, let's just say it's 5 amendments. I've seen more. I think after 5 you need to cancel and start a new contract, but, they keep going. So it's kind of like to your advantage to start acknowledging the first one that you see. Because if you don't acknowledge them and you go back in, and now it's 6196, comma 5, you have to adhere to notices 1 through 4. So it may be asking you for stuff. So now you just, it's your time. It's on your time now. You know what I'm saying? It may be, at first we said we wanted line 1 to be 60,000, and now we changed that. Now we wanted 10,000. Now you got to go do some work. So I just suggest that when time avails, when you see that there's an amendment, that you get at it and acknowledge it as soon as you see it. Yes, ma'am.
When you see an amendment and there's 5 out there, none of them would be duplicate, right?
No, ma'am.
No second notification or anything.
Oh,
It'll
the
each
same
be,
thing, no.
okay, thank
No,
you.
ma'am. Okay, so there's another question I get. I've finished my solicitation, but I don't see nowhere where I'm supposed to submit. It's shadowed out. See to the far right, submit is grayed out. Yeah. 2 things. It's funny. It's funny to me because I do it all the time. You first have to put your name in the box. You first have to put your name in the box. Then check the box. If you do it the other way around, you still not going. You get nothing. Put your name in the box first. Check the box. Then put your title in there. Then submit highlights like a light bulb. I do it all the time. So yeah. And so the vendor says, "Ma'am, in its order, yeah. First name, then check the box, then put your title in there, then submit a highlight." Yeah. Even if you check the box, submit not highlighting, because we want your electronic signature first. Okay? So put your name in there, then check the box. So this is our orange ribbon right here. This is your holy grail, I promise. If you have any questions about how to do anything, eProcurement, iSupplier, it is right here in online training materials. The words like first time accessing the iSupplier is a PDF. Video is a video of the PDF, right? So you can watch how to do it, or you can read how to do it, okay? So the first one is for registration and profile, so that's all about registering in the admin tab for your vendor record. The second one is about solicitation and the bid opportunities and information about your company. The third one is all about how to submit that solicitation if you run into a hiccup, okay? And the last one is for our delegate agency vendors. So here's an updated copy of what was our front-facing page to show you when our workshops are. And again, thank you so very much for coming out. I've enjoyed you guys so much. This is our last one, so I'm quite honored. I had help and support and questions and smiles. It was great. Thank you so much. This is our last one for the year, and I hope we have it in January.
Yeah, we're working on that now.
Okay. And so again, here is our links to access our help page. And if you have any questions, email me at eprocsupport@cityofchicago.org. Online training materials, it's all right there. You don't need to copy that down. If you go to the microsite, www.cityofchicago.org/eProcurement, you'll get to the microsite where the orange ribbon was and Holy Grail. Promise. It's on the sheet. I didn't see it earlier. I'm sure it is there.
I want to thank all of you all
Bad.
for coming out. Thank Pam for Walker Smith. We apologize for moving you from 1103 because Pam normally does it live for you, and sometimes that helps people better than a PowerPoint, but when the mayor calls, the mayor calls. So, if you take a few minutes though and fill out those evaluations, that's important because we want to know if we're giving you what you're looking for. All of the courses are evaluated, and so that if this is helpful, we'd like to hear that. We also want to know what you want. If, you know, it doesn't have to be in this class, but if there's something else you think that we need to cover for you, this is the time, because I am in the process of putting on the next workshops for the next year. Thank you so much for coming out, and have a wonderful day. See you the rest of the day. If you didn't get an evaluation, here they are. You can fill that out and put that on the table. You gonna fill out the evaluation?
My wife.
Oh, okay, you got it. Okay. Jackie.
Oh, you're Jackie. I've talked to you a couple. It's been multiple months. I'm the
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.